Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is JL for those of you that may not know, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of black owned brand love. We're basically just going to be picking up some black owned brand products, talking about them, playing around with them, and just celebrating blackness, black owned brands, just celebrating black culture and being supportive of everything. I'm a big believer in, obviously having time to step away and refresh and rejuvenate and focus on something else, but I have a platform for a reason, and I would be totally remiss to not address things that are going on right now and to not use my platform to try and bolster my community. So that's what I want to do today. Black owned brands are not just for black people, they are for all people. If anything, I would say that black owned brands do sometimes an even better job at fostering for all people because they know what it's like to be excluded, so they take the time to really make sure that the shades and undertones and everything are there, and if something's wrong they will take the time to listen and fix it and address it. So I just feel like this is a really great opportunity to spread some love and joy. I also want to say to everybody that watched my last video, thank you. I didn't expect that video to get any views. I didn't do really much promoting on it at all. It was really just me needing to share my art and share my voice out. I felt like I had been screaming into an empty void for so long, and I was going to just burst if I didn't say or do something, so I chose to do that, and I was able to use it to be some type of catharsis for me, and it turned into what it did. So thank you guys for the support. I had people watching on TikTok, I had people watching it on Facebook, on here on YouTube, on Instagram, and the response has been quite lovely. So I really want to say thank you for that. If my energy is still a little bit low, I think that we can all understand why. Under normal circumstances, I would apologize, but I don't feel like it's anything I have to apologize for or any other black person that is really feeling the bulk of emotions upon them. But I did, however, want to sit down still and, like I said, celebrate and uplift these brands, and also uplift myself and uplift you guys, because a big part of what we're doing right now is fighting for us to be able to be the community that we want to be. So I really hope that videos like this help you guys to see that we can really be the community that we want to be across so many different formats: beauty, film, fashion, whatever it is that you are passionate about. We can foster change there, and we can uplift people that are normally overlooked. So with that said, why don't we dive on in? Alright, today we're going to be looking at the Ace Beauty Vintage Dawn palette. I have talked about this palette on my channel before. I love Ace Beauty. They're a black owned brand, and they have phenomenal eyeshadow palettes with phenomenal formula. This palette in particular, the color story is everything. If you just look at it, it's absolutely stunning. I don't know what else to say about it besides the fact that it's absolutely stunning. All of these shades are just next level, and I love it. Even this cool tone shade, I normally would not like that, but that's something that I kind of am so curious about. I think this is such a well thought out palette, and I love it. So we're going to be playing around with this palette today. I also, however, have recently expanded my Pat McGrath collection, and I picked up these two Pat McGrath Minis. Now this is not her traditional packaging. This is a cheaper, more plastic packaging, but it still looks classy as ever because it is Pat McGrath. So if you guys are like, that doesn't look like what I normally see, it's a little bit different, but it's still stunning. This is the Ecstasy Sublime eyeshadow palette, and you get 5 shades in each of these. Let me see if I can get it open. And they're all shimmer shades, which you can still totally do a look with shimmer shades. I like to use mattes and shimmers, but this is what they all look like. Some are less shimmery than others, which is kind of how you can play around with them, I guess, a little bit more. But we're going to be using this palette today because I really want to play around with this gold shade here. As much as I love the gold shade Serengeti in the Vintage Dawn palette by Ace Beauty, this one I haven't even swatched the Pat McGrath yet. So I'm going to have swatches of everything for you guys as well from the Pat McGrath palette so that you can really see what it all looks like. But I had to dive on in and try it. I do want to show you the other palette. This is the Ecstasy Subversive eyeshadow palette. I believe these both retail for $25 each, but this is what the other palette looks like. Absolutely stunning. As I said, I'm going to right now actually insert some swatches and up close little videos of this product so that you can see it all. It's so pretty, so well done, so beautiful. So I highly am excited about these. But like I said, we're going to be playing around with this one today, the Sublime. The Subversive, I will be playing around again on camera and off, as well as the Sublime. So if you guys are curious about this one, don't worry, I got you. We will definitely be doing some looks with both of these palettes. I'm going to start off with this shade Pyramid. This really beautiful chocolatey brown shade right here. And I am just going to lay that down on either side of the eye. Pigmented, that is so beautiful. Perfect. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm also going to take the shade Fade, and I'm just going to pat a little bit of that right on top, and then we're going to blend out those shades together. I'm just doing it on this small brush, and when we're blending, we're not connecting the shadows. We're just going to blend them up and in a little bit, but we're not going to actually let them touch. Also, if you guys see any movement behind me, my dogs are hanging out in my room right now. On top of that brown, I'm going to pick up the shade Grand Canyon, which is this really pretty, like, burnt orange shade. And we're just going to top that right above. Plop that on, like so. And as you guys can see, these shadows blend like an absolute dream. But two, they are so pigmented. It is crazy. So look how vibrant that is. It's amazing. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to blend these out, and this time these can kind of connect these shadows, but our goal isn't to like necessarily make them connect. They just can kind of do a little soft connection as you're naturally blending them out. I really want this to blend into that brown. That's my main focus, and if it drifts over, that's okay, but I'm not trying to get it to be super connected. Beautiful. I'm just going to take a little bit more of the shade Pyramid, that lighter brown shade, and I'm going to just reinforce some of that brown and help that blend to really just come together. And don't worry if your little patch here, little patch of like untouched skin is fading. You can totally reinforce that with more primer or like a shimmer glitter base. You can totally reinforce that later. We're not going to be too concerned. Our concern right now is just with making sure that everything looks nice and blended. So far, beautiful. Love that. Looks really nice and natural. I'm going to add in a little bit more of this shadow and just really get in there. And then for the very top, I'm going to take the shade Daybreak, which is this very pretty, like almost mustard yellow shade right here. It has, looks like the teensiest bit of like orange or brown in it. It's so pretty. And we're going to take that on a nice fluffy brush and just very lightly blend that right up top. Just right through by the brow bone. That's going to bring some light back in there and just help to complete the gradient, make everything look a lot more seamless and smooth. And a little helpful hint when you're playing with shadows, especially ones that are as pigmented as this one, wherever you touch your brush down is where the most pigment is going to sit. So if you are trying to do something softer and make it look more natural, the bulk of the pigment naturally kind of goes out towards the ends and will diffuse in. So when you're doing something like this, you always want to start from out here and not directly in the middle. That way it'll be a lot easier for you to control the shadows, control the pigment, and control your gradient. Because when I say gradient, I don't just mean the gradient of the color, I mean the gradient that it is diffused into as well. I don't have a black owned glitter primer. If you guys could recommend one for me, if you're aware of one, that would be awesome. I am just taking one from NYX, but like I said, if you guys know of a really great black owned glitter primer, please let a girl know. And as you guys can see, the glitter primer is just going to let me have a little bit more base to work with to lay down that shade. And shout out to Makeup by Tammy for talking about this, because I used to do this trick with eyeshadows with glitters and stuff, or shimmers rather, and I forgot about it. And I was watching one of her videos the other day and she did this, and I was like, I completely forgot that you could do that. So I just want to swatch this really quickly, because even though you guys have already seen swatches, I have not gotten to swatch these products at all. So I'm ready to swatch my first Pat McGrath shadow. It literally feels like butter. Are you kidding me? What? What even? Wait, look at this. That is, what even is that? And no matter what angle you put it at, it just looks beautiful. That is crazy. That is, she's worth every penny. All right, so we're gonna take, this is the shade Gold Nectar. Perfectly named. And I'm just going to pat this down the center. I'm not even going to spray it because it doesn't need any Fix Plus or anything. It looks amazing the way that it is. Look at that. It's amazing. This looks like, honestly, that I had like a loose pigment and put it down. And I know that these are essentially just pressed pigments, but some people claim to have pressed pigments and their pigments don't look this good. So obviously it looks like we have like a big kind of streaky situation right now. So you want to go back in and clean that up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just take this brush, pick up a little bit of the shade Pyramid, and I am going to tap off the excess and then very lightly just blend these edges in a little bit, just so that it looks a little bit more put together, blended, beautiful. All right, so actually I realized about halfway through this that I meant to fix my nails before I started filming, and I did not. So I've just been filming with some janky behind nails, and what else is new? I will be more prepared, maybe, more put together, maybe, on Saturday. We'll find out. Tune in and find out. Alright, so for foundation, I'm going with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Hydrating Longwear Foundation in the shade 330. If you somehow did not know, Fenty Beauty is owned by BREONNA. And I only say somehow because I feel like everybody is obsessed with Fenty Beauty and obsessed with BREONNA for a good reason on both parts. So Fenty Beauty is owned by BREONNA. It is a black-owned brand. It is BREONNA's brand. And we love it. Today is clearly a Fenty kind of day because I am also picking up these Fenty concealers. This is actually my first time using them. I purchased them to originally, one, because I just wanted them, but I was going to do like a first impressions video, but this video, much more important. So this is the Fenty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Concealer. I have two shades in here because basically the way that their concealers work is that they're apropos to the foundation that you have. They're meant to be the highlight shade to that foundation, but my understanding is that they're still pretty similar, and they're like pretty similar in shade, so it's a little bit of a step up. So what I did is I went ahead and got my natural corrector shade, or not corrector shade, my natural shade that was formulated to be my highlight shade, and then I did pick up a lighter shade as well in the shade 310. only because I like to have a little bit more brightness under my eye, and I figured I could mix the two if I can even get this out of here. Come out, friend. So this is the shade 330 in the concealer. I've never used it before, so I'm very excited. You know what? I actually probably could do a little bit of correction with this because it's a little orangey. It looks just a tad bit like orangey to me in person. It might not look that way on camera, but it's very creamy, which I of course enjoy. So I'm gonna blend this out and see what I see, but I feel like I am happy that I got that lighter shade because it does look a teensy bit orangey to me. This is definitely a super natural finish, like a super natural finish. The shade is nice and natural, so I like this on the days that I'm going to be doing very natural looks. I know that it's going to make everything look nice, give me nice coverage, but not look like it's super makeup-y and cakey. I definitely feel that filtering effect because it feels natural. It looks like my skin, but it does look like filtered a little bit. So it's awesome. It's really cool. All right. And the finish isn't like super matte, at least. I mean, it might not have dried down yet, but it doesn't feel very matte. It feels very nice. For a little bit of extra brightness under the eye, I am going to add just a teeny bit of 310. Just for good measure. I feel like it's just going to give me exactly what I'm looking for. This looks really nice, like genuinely in person. Even my under eyes, where I normally like am very concerned because right around here can be a little funky sometimes. That's something I'm working on, is trying to like get rid of that texture. It looks really nice. It looks very, very nice. So I'm very happy. Okay. It looks good. It really does. All right. I also picked up the Fenty powder. This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Mine is in the shade Banana. We're gonna see how this one goes. Up close, I do see a little bit of my texture right here, but I don't think that's necessarily the powder. I just am having a textured day. That's really nice. Does this powder have a smell? It almost smells like the slightest bit of like vanilla or something. Alright guys, so my base is done. I have in the blush, the highlight, the lashes. If you guys want to know what I use, I will have everything listed down below. But again, we are focusing on the Black-owned brands for today's video, so that's all I'm really showcasing and paying attention to. Let's move on, however, to doing our under eyes. So, or lower lash line, however you want to say it. So I'm just going to pick up our Ace Beauty palette again. This is, just to remind you, the Vintage Dawn palette. And I'm basically just going to repeat the same steps up top, down bottom, except I'm just going to do it fluidly instead of doing it in two separate spots. So I'm going to take the shades Pyramid, Grand Canyon, and then Daybreak in that exact order, and smudge them out along the lower lash line. Smudge and blend. Just for total transparency, I do want to say that up close, I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if it will even pick it up as well, or it could just be me. Like I said, I do see a little bit of the texture. Like from far away, I can barely tell, but if I'm looking right up on my mirror, I do see a little bit of the texture under my eyes. But again, I cannot really fault the concealer or the powder for it. I wanted to just point that out because I feel like right now, because my under eyes are exhibiting texture, no matter what, something would kind of catch that. I think the only powder that might actually soften that a bit is my Pat McGrath powder. So in the spirit of that, I am going to go ahead and just pat a little bit of the Pat McGrath powder on top. This is her Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Medium. This is like one of my favorite powders of all time because it really does do a great job of brightening and blurring. I don't know exactly what magic she puts in here, but it just like takes everything and makes it better. So I'm just going to just kind of flow underneath. And yeah, that softened it right on up. I still have some texture there, but it looks much softer. And like I said, I think my Pat McGrath powder is the only one that can really do that for my skin, because sometimes my skin just has its moments and I gotta roll with it. So I think I want to take a little bit more of this kind of like greenish gold shade and pop that in our inner corner. Okay, for lips today, we are going to be going in with the Oma Beauty Lipstick. This is their Badass Icon Matte Lipstick in the shade Aretha. I just want to say, by the way, if you have not checked out Oma Beauty, please do. They are one of the best brands on the market, especially their lip products. So amazing, and they're so innovative with absolutely everything. And also, the head of Oma Beauty, the founder of it, Sharon, she is amazing. Like, she is phenomenal. She has been out on the front lines protesting and spreading awareness about what's been going on, and she has even started this amazing campaign called Pull Up or Shut Up, where she demands for brands to show that if they care and they're saying that Black Lives Matter, then they need to show that in the boardroom and not just on the internet. So we've been getting facts and figures, hard proof about the amount of representation that they have, and a lot of them don't have great representation. And she was transparent from the set out about what her brand's representation looks like. She's amazing. Please support her. Please support her brand. You will be doing yourself and the world such a favor, honestly, because you're going to be showing that more Black brands deserve to have the same respect as white-owned brands. So with that being said, let's seal this with our lipstick. Alright guys, my camera battery is about to die. My dogs are getting antsy. I don't even have time to go and try and like brush my hair a little bit more. But we finished this look. It looks beautiful. I am so happy. And I'm so happy I could do this and talk about some great Black-owned brands. Please make sure to go and check out all of these brands and so many more. I will be, of course, talking about more Black-owned brands and Black-owned collabs on my channel, as I always have, and will continue to do it in a very, very special way, even more so very soon. Make sure you are subscribed if you are not already. I would love to have you join this community. We can have some really great, powerful conversations and talk about beauty and makeup and just lift each other. Very quickly, I don't know if it recorded, what my camera stopped recording, but I love this look. I love the way that it turned out. I think it is so beautiful. You guys saw firsthand, Black-owned brands are doing the thing. We all need to offer our support. So I am very excited for us to continue to talk about Black-owned brands, to talk about the changes and shifts in beauty as they come. Make sure you guys check out the Pull Up or Shut Up page on Instagram. I will have links down below for these brands, for places that you guys can donate. If you want to help the cause, you know, share. And one final thing that I want to say before I sign off is this. I was at a protest yesterday, and at the protest, one of the leaders of the protest said, I am 43 years old, and this is the first time in my life I have ever felt truly free. And hearing a man say that has spent his whole life not feeling free, that's the feeling that Black people across this country have had. And when we do this, when we band together and say that these things matter, you are doing so much more than just saying words. When you demand change, you are changing the world and giving people the freedom that they did not have before. I have been so emotional, and I'm even getting emotional right now because it is that important. And I will always use my platform to bolster the fact that letting people know that their life is worth living, that their humanity is worth something, that they're deserving of basic human rights, is something that is beyond important. It is essential. So you guys just being here and acknowledging that and lifting up Black-owned brands means so much more than you know. Being out there and raising your voice, or even raising your voice online if you're unable to go out and protest, it means so much more than you know. So I'm going to have links down below where you can donate. I'm going to encourage you guys to look up and educate yourselves if you are not a person of color, if you are not black and you want to know more. Juneteenth is coming up. We're going to be celebrating Juneteenth on my channel, but I wanted to share all of that. My final thing that I want to say to you guys is please make sure to comment on this video if you have not already, subscribe if you have not already, like, give it a big thumbs up. I would love to have you join this community. We are going to uplift each other. We're going to talk about these serious issues. We're going to talk about makeup. We're going to talk about life, and we're going to make this a positive space that is bolstering change in community. Outside of that, like I said, make sure to share it, make sure to like. Let me know of other black-owned brands and indie brands that I should be checking out, but specifically black-owned brands for this video. And I will see you all in my next one. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Bye, my loves.
Say my name until the city burns and the stars fade away and your scars don't hurt. Stay with me until the last man falls.